Hello, hello. Welcome back, listeners, to the Thought Tapestry. I am Stephanie, and I have my wonderful co-host Keisha here. Hi, Kiki.
Hey girl, hey, hey everyone.
I'm so glad to be here with you.
Yes.
So, today's episode is okay. I gotta give everyone a little bit of background as to why and how this episode came about. And that's because I am someone who is on a very interesting hair journey, right? And I've been trying to figure out what to do with my hair for a really, really long time. And as a Black woman, it really can plague you, you know? So I started thinking
Yes.
about just like hair care in general and started thinking about good old Madam Walker and like what she got into. And as I got deeper into the research, another name kept surfacing. And that name was Annie Turnbo Malone. And
Mhm.
I'm going to talk to you today about Annie because I fear, like we discussed in our very first episode, that Miss Annie has been given the OBG treatment, the other Black girl treatment.
Other black
Yeah.
girl. Mm-hmm.
They did our girl wrong.
They
So
did.
today's episode is going to be reconciling the OBGing of this woman. Because as we discussed in that episode, for some reason, there only can ever seem to be one of us, and I negate that. I say there's room for every single genius of us that exists, and this podcast is going to do its best to highlight those people. Okay?
Whoop, whoop.
Okay, so Miss Annie Turnbo Malone was born in Metropolis, Illinois, to Robert and Isabel Turnbo, both of whom were formerly enslaved in Kentucky. Robert served with the Union 1st Kentucky Cavalry in the Civil War, and eventually Isabel took the couple's children and escaped from Kentucky because it was a neutral, air quote, neutral border state that was still maintaining slavery. She found refuge in Metropolis, Illinois, and that is a free state. There she reunited with her husband, Robert. Several years later, on August 9th, 1869, Annie Turnbo was born on a farm near Metropolis in Massachusetts County, Illinois, and she was the 10th of 11 children. Now, she was orphaned at a young age. They don't say how the parents died, but she and her older siblings attended public school in Metropolis, and they'd actually moved in with her older sister, whose name was Ada Mae in Peoria. So she's who eventually got all the kids and was caring for them. And Turnbow attended high school there, taking particular interest in chemistry. However, due to frequent illness, she was forced to withdraw from her classes. Though she did not graduate, she did discover that she was good at chemistry. While she was out of school, she grew fascinated with hair and hair care, and she often practiced hairdressing with her sister. With her expertise in both chemistry and hair care, she began to develop her own hair care products. From an early age, she understood that for African American women, appearance and grooming represented more than their personal style. It could also indicate a woman's class and social standing. And we actually talked about that in a recent episode about how it's always the same shit. Like the playbooks are always the same. This is straight out of the playbook. And this is in the 1800s. And what, 100 years later,
Mm-hmm.
same shit.
Mm-hmm.
We're passing laws that are saying, no, let them just wear their hair how they want for fuck's sake. Anyway, so she realized that improving hair health could also have a positive effect on the lives of African American women. This motivation, along with her early passion for styling her sister's hair, inspired her to develop products to help women to adapt to a society that judged them based on how they met the American standard of beauty, which excluded the natural appearance of most African Americans. By the beginning of the 1900s, Turnbo moved with her older siblings to Lovejoy, now known as Brooklyn, Illinois, and while experimenting with hair and different hair care products, she developed and manufactured her own line of non-damaging hair straighteners, special oils, and hair stimulant products for African American women. She named the new product Wonderful Hair Grower. As a Black woman, Turnboy was denied access to regular distribution channels, so to promote her new product, she sold the Wonderful Hair Grower in bottles door to door. Her products and sales began to revolutionize hair care methods for African Americans. She eventually created an entire line of hair care and beauty products specifically for us. Recognizing that she needed a larger market to sell her products, she moved her business to St. Louis, or I don't know, St. Louis, whatever, in 1902.
Yes.
I don't know how to say that. The city's economy was booming in preparation for the 1904 World's Fair. Malone not only faced the challenges of being a Black woman in a segregated society, but as a businesswoman in a sexist one. Undeterred, and after early success in Illinois, she moved to Missouri and established Poro College in St. Louis in 1918. A little bit about the college. The building included a manufacturing plant, a retail store where Poro products were sold, and business offices. It had a 500-seat auditorium, dining and meeting rooms, a roof garden, a dorm, a gym, a bakery, and a chapel. It served the African American community as a center for religious and social functions, and the college curriculum addressed the whole student. Students were coached on personal style for work, on walking, talking, and a style of dress designed to maintain a solid persona. Poro College employed nearly 200 people in St. Louis. Does it
St. Louis
sound
it
like
is.
Okay, yeah. We're gonna roll with
St. Louis.
I think that's what it is. Okay, so she employed nearly 200 people in that city through its school and franchise businesses. The college also created jobs for almost 75,000 women in North and South America, Africa, and the Philippines. And this is in the 1900s, early 1900s. Founded as a cosmetic school and named after the Poro Society, which was a secret organization in West Africa that exemplified physicality and spirituality. Poro College also provided a meeting place for African American and major Black organizations such as the National Negro Business League to meet, since they were denied access to most public spaces. Not only did Poro College act as a training center to nurture and style Black hair, but it was also a significant source of employment for African Americans. Her Poro agents, ranging in ages from 16 to 80, were trained to sell her custom products and use the Poro system of scalp cleaning and hair nourishing. Over the company's lifespan, tens of thousands of women and men sold Poro products around the world. One of her selling agents, Sarah Breedlove Davis, later known as Madam C.J. Walker, operated first in St. Louis. She later moved to Denver, Colorado, where she continued to sell Turnbo products. After a disagreement, Walker left the company. She allegedly took the original Poro formula and created her own brand of it. Now, this is disputed, but as history kind of continues to unveil itself, it's looking more and more like it's less alleged, more true. Anyhow, this development was one of the reasons that Turnbo copyrighted her products under the name Poro, because of what she called fraudulent imitations and to discourage counterfeit versions. And this is just kind of an aside. There's an author that noted that Poro was either the married names of her, which was Annie Pope, and later her sister Laura Roberts, or it was actually derived from a Mindi word in the African language. No one really knows, but I think that it's probably derived from an African word because of what it stood for and how they were operating. Anywho, Poro products expanded, and she began selling cold cream, lipstick, and face powders in a variety of shades like Poro brown, white, and browns in multiple hues. Among the list of Poro hair preparations available for purchase were hair grower, special hair grower, and tedder relief. In 1914, Annie Turnbo married Aaron E. Malone, a St. Louis school principal, and then from that point on, she was known as Annie Malone. By the end of World War I, she had managed to amass over $1 million and was one of the most successful Black women of her time. During the 1920s, Annie Malone's Poro brand soared, increasing the value of her company and making her one of the wealthiest again. With her newfound fortune, she donated large sums of money to philanthropic efforts around the area and to institutions such as Howard. University. Unfortunately, her multi-million-dollar business empire was put at risk in 1927 when her husband filed for divorce and demanded half of the business. Having served as president of the company, he claimed that his contributions had been integral to its success. The divorce suit forced Pearl College into court-ordered receivership. With support from her employees and powerful figures such as Mary McLeod Bethune, the high-profile dispute resulted in a settlement of $200,000. This affirmed her role as the sole owner of Pearl College, and the divorce was then granted. Seeking a fresh start, Malone moved her business headquarters to Chicago in 1930. Unfortunately, financial troubles continued to follow her. The aftermath of the 1929 stock market crash hit the company hard, as did a slew of lawsuits. Although her business survived, it was reduced to a fraction of its original size. Despite these financial setbacks, Malone remained in business and had 32 branches of the Pearl School throughout the country in the mid-1950s. On May 10th, 1957, Annie suffered a stroke and died at Chicago's Providence Hospital. Childless, she had bequeathed her business and remaining fortune to her nieces and nephews. At the time of her death, her estate was valued at $100,000, which would be about 1.6 maybe million dollars in today's money. Her legacy as a pioneer in the African American beauty and cosmetic business, and her charitable legacy continues. The St. Louis Orphans Home, which was renamed after her in 1947, is now the Annie Malone Children and Family Service Center. The street on which the center is located was renamed Annie Malone Drive in her honor, and St. Louis has an annual Annie Malone Parade in support of children's charities every year. And that's the short but hopefully interesting story of Miss Annie Malone Turnbo. Or actually, Annie Turnbo Malone.
Yeah. Shout out to Annie.
Shout out to Annie.
Annie.
You
because she
know
was
about
the
her?
originator. Yes.
Girl.
Yeah. They did put her in the Netflix.
Yeah, they made her, they swapped the story.
They kind of swapped it up.
Okay, so what do you believe? Who do you think is the...
Girl, let me tell you. Knowing what I know as an adult woman nowadays, like, I could see, like, there's some jealous motherfuckers out here. There's some jealous bitches out here. Mm-hmm. And whatever you've worked hard for, it doesn't even matter. They think they can always do it better than you. But they end up sometimes doing it a little bit better than you, but under what pretense? Like, how were you able to, get the recipe and go on and duplicate this? Was it the real original recipe? Did you put a little razzle dazzle on it? Because you had to use that. She had to use Annie's name when she probably first popped out. Like, this is whatever. And then she started making her own concoctions.
I bet it was tweaked very little. Yeah.
Very little. I assume that. But yeah, I know all about Annie, and I know about, Madam CJ and how she came up there. And then, Annie too, with her husband, because I feel like the same things always befall us of women.
The trends. Well, is it the man?
It is, girl. You can't just fucking just let it go and just be like, hey, I know you were quite the woman when I met you. I was a mere fucking school teacher. Like, if you give me a couple of shillings, I will be grateful.
Yeah. Throw me some bucks and we'll call it even. I'll walk away. But no, this mofo wants half of it. And he literally had such a little contribution. She was already, the college had already been established by the time he rolled around. She was in it. This was hers. That's why they talk about, you gotta, in the Black community, how they say being equally yoked.
You do. Because you get old school teacher Dan, and he's going to fuck around, and he's going to get a little envious of your success.
She died and she was worth like about 100K, and that's about $1 million, like $1.6 million. He got double that. So he ended up being, you feel me?
Yeah.
He ended up being like this multimillionaire
For
just
no
because he
reason at
married
all.
her.
No reason at all.
Just because he married
That's
her.
why they do say, Stephanie, you know, we can go down the rabbit hole with so many black women. We can talk about Mary J.
Mhm.
Blige,
Mhm.
but there's
Mhm.
always a fucking man out there that's looking at you,
Waiting in the shadows,
waiting in the
like,
shadows. And girl, they play the game so well because we know from when was it Toni Morrison? No, not Toni Morrison. What was the lady that Stella got her groove back? What's that lady's name? Tony something, isn't it?
wait, the author?
Waiting to Excel. What's that lady? What's her name?
Gosh, it's not coming
It's
to
not
me.
coming to
Isn't
me
it
either.
Toni Morrison? No. Who wrote Stella Got Her Groove Back?
Yeah, that's the lady. Whatever.
It's right on the
Is
tip of
it
my tongue,
Morrison?
but
Oh Jesus. Let's look it up.
you should probably look that up. I'm
Hmm
gonna do that right now.
Yeah, that was like what?
I actually, oh no, I was gonna say I just watched How Stella Got Her Groove Back, but I actually watched Waiting to Exhale. Oh, it's Terry McMillan.
Terry with a T. When she
Yeah,
went
she wrote
off
Waiting to
and got
Exhale.
with that dude that everybody could see, damn Stevie Wonder was pointing it out.
Keisha, don't say that.
Ray Charles was signifying. Girl, you in danger, girl. You are in
Okay, well, you know
danger.
what I was thinking about though, because I do consider myself to be pretty like observant and aware, but like, what are the red flags? Because some of them are so good at playing the long game, you know?
Girl, that's why they say
How would you
give it three
know?
months. In your whole mind, you got to give these people 3 months to mirror and try to mirror you as much as they can. After 3 months, that shit falls away. Then they just stop
Okay,
trying to
I
be
agree with that
whoever
because it gets
they were
hard.
trying to
But what
be.
about, do you think, what about the adages that you should travel with them first? Like there are like
You
milestones
got
that
to. You
you
got
hit.
to.
But how can you do all that in 3 months?
Look, if you're willing to, if you think this person is going to be your person for whatever we trying to talk about, what we talked about in the last podcast, I don't belong to you, you don't belong to me.
Yeah, freedom.
If
Oh my
you're
gosh.
talking about letting that freedom go and you want the ching ching, then you going to have to spend these things. And I'll say in another life, these are things that you do need to do. You need to travel with them.
Yeah,
You need to meet their
true.
parents. And
Oof.
you need to have the
You
relationship
do
with
need
the
to know who their
parents
people are,
and
though.
their loved ones.
Or I feel like you do, just because why wouldn't you? But I feel like it's also good to have people that are independent thinkers. Do you know what I mean?
It's true.
Because you don't want someone who's like, well, this is what my family thinks. Because, like, geez.
Yeah. What
Like,
do they call? They have a
actually
name for
don't.
that.
I don't believe that when you marry someone, you marry their family. I don't
Mm-mm.
believe that actually.
No.
I think that's kind of a weird thing. Like, I don't
No.
want to marry your mother and your father. No, thank you. Okay, can I tell you something? And I don't know if I'm going to keep this in the pod or if we should be talking about this after. But I was at okay, there's this guy that
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing at the gym.
Okay.
And there's energy there. There's been energy. We walk by each other. We kind of like, whatever. And I saw him today, Keisha, and I was like, oh, me and him are going to hook up. I think I'm going to hook up with this guy. He's hot. He's like, I think Latino. I don't know. He's like a brown guy. He drives a motorcycle. He just kind of came out of nowhere. But today I was like, oh, I'm interested. Anyway, that to say, it has nothing to do with anything. But I just thought that I haven't thought that in a long time. You know what I'm saying? And so when I thought it, I was like, well, I'll be damned. Finally.
Okay. Okay. So, is this something like just in pursuit of a good time?
Yeah,
Is
I think
this
it's just I
okay?
think
Well,
it's
there you
just that.
go, girl. If you know, you can feel the
Um,
vibes. And
yeah,
he's
but it would be,
hot,
I mean,
and it's
he's
very
like,
like,
yeah, he's like fit, he's like an
yeah. Oh,
instructor.
okay,
He's
okay.
got like this long, wild hair, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It would just be perfect. I think he would be the perfect, like, just slap the spider webs out.
Okay, okay. There's
So
nothing
we'll
wrong with
see.
that. Just go and have
No,
fun.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You know, my stance is that half the reason that everything is so fucked up globally is because people aren't boning enough.
They're not, girl.
We're not having
But
enough
you know
sex.
what?
We're
The
just
thing
not.
about sex is the hard part, because we know everybody wants it, everybody was trying to get it, but once you do get it with the guys, especially with the guys, I'm not a guy, but that first, like, ooh, they build up, it's the chase, and then they conquer and they get it, and that shit goes away. So they may not feel nothing after. You feel like, damn, I gave this guy the goods, and he then dipped out. But
okay,
you know how to do the things that you need to do. Like, best sex that you can have is protected sex. So that way, obviously, the fluids can't, the tide,
be having a lot more safe and consensual
the best
sex,
right? Is protected sex.
And consensual sex. But this is the thing I think about men like that. There is something happening. And I think it's media, and I think the way that men are kind of being brainwashed should show us all that, like, where we stand on the intelligence in terms of the gender hierarchy, because I feel like they have just been so easily sheeped into these women haters.
Yeah.
And it's like, they double down on the hate and expect the women to be like, okay, fine. And it's like, that's just not how this works.
That's what they want, us to wear our resistance down.
Yes, they just want, like, the bodies. Like,
they do.
Were we talking about that this podcast?
The last, the last episode.
Recently.
Whoa.
But because I feel like a man that, like, in my opinion, you should be a good lover. Like, there's something to be said about a good
these
lover.
Are things that you would, as a person, would want to do, and you would research the things that will make you a good lover. Not watching porn, because we all know that's where most of these men get their techniques.
That is it.
And is so fake. It's so just not even the way things go.
Not how you're supposed to.
Not even the interaction between two people. They think it's just like, we gon'.
It's not how you
There's
talk
things
to them.
that
It's
go
not how
on.
you look at them.
It's a whole ballet musical dance
missing.
That needs to happen.
That's what it is. The seduction. The seduction is missing. Men don't know how to seduce women anymore.
Missing. They don't want to, because they feel like, this guy, you know what? I say men don't talk to other men enough, but they will listen to somebody that's not even in their realm. Do you feel what I'm saying? They'll listen to people that
they call Donald Trump daddy, and I think they mean it unironically.
Yeah, that's like, this is and it's different for men to have money. There's, like you said, the categories. There really gonna be some categories when it comes to men. Think about it. You have the men that are like what are considered the nice guy, whatever. They might have somewhat of a clue. Then they got the nerds, these Revenge of the Nerds motherfuckers that are out here today are ruining.
Yeah, okay, we got to talk about that, because
everything.
That's what I was talking to my friend, and I was saying, though, nerds, generally speaking, are freaky motherfuckers.
They are.
I mean, nerds gave us interspecies sex. So I can't call what... I mean, right?
Yes.
They did.
They did.
So I'm not certain that the people that are air quotes in charge right now are nerds. I think more than anything, they're just egomaniacs and narcissists. Because if the real nerds were running the country, we'd have flying cars, and hand to God, I think we'd all be fucking more. I do. I really do. I do.
This lady said, I don't think I have talked to you about this, but this lady was talking about, she's like, if you want to get a really good man, you get yourself a soft top.
Oh my God. Imagine.
The soft top, Stephanie.
Okay, I don't know if I like that. I don't think I could do it. Okay, so help clarify for me.
Mm-hmm.
Is a soft top like basically like how they call like a golden retriever husband?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's use that language.
golden retriever husband. So you
Yeah.
get one of those guys. It's gonna be
Yes,
loyal.
I would love
It's
one of
gonna be
those
soft and
guys.
cuddly and
But all the
understanding.
smart women have scooped him up.
Have they scooped
They're
him up?
hard to find.
Yeah,
What's that?
they are hard to find.
They're hard to find. I
You
mean,
gotta
that's why I keep
really
saying I'm looking for a
be
unicorn.
patient. You have to
Oof.
really
Because I
know
mean,
what
at my
exactly what
age,
you are looking for, and that shit got to match. Because once you find this, it's like the gold.
oh, for sure, it really is like gold. Yeah, no, I will know too once I find him.
Mm-hmm.
I immediate, because how could you not? They're so damn rare. It really is like striking gold. Like I found him. Okay, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When you Oh, see, I was gonna ask you how long, oh God, this is crazy. I was gonna ask you how long you wait to show a guy your natural hair. But then I realized, yeah, the face you just made, because listener, she has only ever dated black men. So that's never been a concern for you, has
Yeah,
it?
not even when I was dipping in the pool of whatever was out there in the beginning. So
Swimming in that
I
swamp.
did have a white boyfriend. I told you I had a white boyfriend, girl. He didn't give a fuck. I could have looked like, girl, I could have had a damn Santaveria fucking growing out of my scalp. He wouldn't have cared. He wouldn't have known the thing. He just liked me. He just liked me.
I have found that generally speaking, they do. They don't seem to care. They're definitely not as hung up on hair
I
as black
don't,
men
and
are.
I told Jasmine this the other day because she is really pulling off her look of her
I kind
short.
of saw a little bit of her in the back of your video. She looked
She
good.
had the
Yeah.
part going, girl. I said, oh,
Mhm.
yes, yes, Jazzy,
Excellent
you've done
choice. Yeah.
that. Oh, it's
Yeah.
so cute.
Just kids. Yeah.
But anyway, I was talking to her about this video I had watched the other day, and I was quite confused. It was with a black girl and a white man. And so the video has the girl coming out. I guess she's getting ready to go on a date. So she has these weave that's like down past her butt. It's orange, looks a mess. She had a tube top on. She had a little mini skirt, and then she had some pumps on. And so she goes out of her room to, I guess, where her husband was like looking at his phone. I guess he's waiting for her to go on a date. And then she's like, when you got, I don't know what it was about, matching energy. I don't know. But girl, she looked at him, and he was like all sharp, had a suit on and all that. So she goes back around the corner. Her wig fell off her head. She went in there, picked out her afro, put on something. And I'm just like, what the hell does this mean? And I asked Jasmine, like, well, how does she feel about, like, what does she think about that video? And she's like, she's like, I've never had any problems with, guys liking me the way I am. But she's like, but sometimes the white guys are much more understanding about natural hair. They actually like it versus the black man, because they got two different, actually maybe three different kinds of chicks that black girls could be. They could be the ones that are trying to be the bad bitch. They can have the natural hotep or whatever, and then they have the girl that's just like the plain Jane. I feel like there may be more archetypes, but
What
these
does
are
the plain Jane's hair look like?
Plain Jane is the one that doesn't do anything to do anything with whatever she has. She doesn't do her hair. She doesn't do her nails. She doesn't do makeup. She doesn't do any of the things.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't even care about those kind of things. She just looks
like just truly natural.
Just a natural, straight up, like, wake up, probably splash some water on her face and goes. Doesn't care about looks at all. Looks are not important to her. She's probably a really smart intellectual. She's probably not into all that other stuff. But the hoteppers, we have a certain look. We love our shells. We love our beads. We love looking like the boho, a bohemian life.
I love that you said the hoteppers and then you said we.
I don't know. I put myself in that. Let me take myself out of that. But
say why. You gotta know yourself.
then you have the bad bitch, you know, she's all about
Mm-hmm.
like a latest lace front. She's always got her face
Mm-hmm.
beat to the gods. She stops at the
Mm-hmm.
Mac counter, probably buys Fenty BB. She's always like
Mm-hmm.
gussied up, nails done. That's that.
Wow. I wonder, I feel like I'm a little bit of the bad bitch and the plain Jane.
You can be in between. But
I'm
yeah,
right.
but
I'm
then
right
when
that
men
Venn
see
diagram.
like these kind of looks, they'll say they have their types that they like. And they'll always say it's the
Yeah.
opposite. And these motherfuckers don't know what the fuck they want. They don't know who they like. They just
That's
know
the
that
ultimate
they feel
problem.
like you got to be like a bad bitch. And I'm like, do you know what it entails to be a bad bitch?
Yeah,
You
and that's the thing. You
know,
say you want
but
one, and then you'll turn around and call her a gold
you
digger.
will.
But that's because, like we talked about, they like to try to like get you and then dull strip all of what you
Mm,
are off of
yeah.
you. And why? I don't know. Because then they eventually leave you because you're not what they wanted in the first place. It's a weird
Yeah, it's a
cycle.
weird cycle.
It's a very weird cycle. But I think it's just because they don't even know what they want.
They
Like
don't.
men choose their mates based on whether or not they think other dudes will
Mm-hmm.
want their
Mm-hmm.
mate. It's a very weird
This is sick and
way
twisted.
of settling
Cause
into
I
little.
don't give a fuck what my girlfriend thinks about a guy. Cause girl, Lord knows, I should have, you know what, I should have took more heed to stuff. Because girl, this one time I dated this guy. Girl,
You're
that
like, come to
motherfucker
think
was
about it.
ugly as fuck, girl. When I tell you this motherfucker was ugly as fuck, girl, that ugly as fuck didn't even have a chance. Okay, this motherfucker was terrible looking, and he had a club foot.
Ooh,
And he
yikes.
had sharp teeth. Girl, the
Sharp.
sharp.
Like canine,
Like
like
pointy
vampire.
this way and pointy that
Ooh,
way. I don't know. Girl,
no
he could have been a fucking
way.
good old energy fucking vampire. He's an old
You never
ugly ass.
know. Well, how
Girl,
have
my
we
friend was
slept so
like, girl, he's ugly. I was like,
far?
watch.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, you're right. This motherfucker is ugly. There's no competition in that. You got that. Yeah, he's this ugly motherfucker. But watch what I do. And girl, I was thinking I was gonna play this motherfucker to the left. I really did. I was like, you know what, girl? He said one thing to me. I was like, bet. Girl, I should have stayed my distance. Girl, he was like, I'll never take a bitch. Just he said something. I'll never take a bitch out to eat. Something I never, something that he will never do. And I was like, word. And I was just like, why do I always get stuck with the mud fucking ducks to entertain? Why don't I always even have the cute guy to entertain? Like, this was me trying to be the wingman. Like, okay, girl, we're going to go over here right quick.
Yikes.
Distract
Yeah,
him.
okay.
You know, that
I
kind of
have
shit.
so much to say about that, Kiki. I feel like girls gotta stop setting their friends up like that because what happens is then the guy thinks they can pull and becomes intolerable. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. And
Because I
that's
remember
what happened,
seeing.
girl. He thought since he
Yeah.
got with me, he the next time he went out there hunting, he was like that. He had the utmost confidence. This
Like, of course,
motherfucker
yeah.
had so much goddamn confidence that he did brought the girl over to my house, perpetrating a
Oh,
fucking
wow.
fraud, slept with the girl in my house. She had the keys to my house. Girl, he had it all. Yeah.
He
It
slipped.
was,
Oh,
he
see,
did.
that's why you
And
can't.
then,
That's
girl,
why you
they were
can't
telling me,
activate that
like,
part of them.
girl, do you know this motherfucker be straight up all the whole time you've been here with him? I think I was with him for maybe a year. And they're like
Keisha,
telling me at the
what?
end, girl, they were like, yeah, he be up here when the new recruits come in, like he be sitting in the lobby, and we know who he dating.
What?
Yeah, they
Oh my
knew.
gosh, how did he manage to keep hold of you
Girl,
for a year?
cause girl, he just was like, he had a car.
Oh.
He would just
Did he buy
been
you
like,
things?
yeah, he was like,
Just as you can say it. This is a safe space.
he was like,
Um,
ugh. But girl, he
yeah.
was very like that. Girl, I would never ever even look his way to this day, girl. And you know the girl that he went and cheated on me with. they stayed together, like, even after, like, all the shit happened. They got married. They have kids together. They're probably still together to this day. From time to time, my
Nice.
friend, she'll send me a Facebook message, and she's like, "Remember you used to date that ugly nigga?" I do, girl. How could I for fucking
Oh
get?
man. I'm gonna go on the record and say that I have never dated or hooked up with an ugly person.
Kudos to you, girl. And like I said, being a motherfucking wingman, I'll tell to my daughter to this day,
No.
do not go with nobody, and they're gonna try to like have you up here sitting up here with this dude for a
Mhm.
period of time. Girl, I
Mhm.
would have never.
Okay, so I take that back a little bit because literally my subconscious would not let me lie. How
Oh, what
funny.
happened? Who is
But
this?
I did talk to this guy that a coworker's boyfriend's friend, and he was this white guy, and he was huge, like
Like
big,
my 600 pound life?
maybe like 300,
Oh,
maybe like that, maybe like 200.
oh,
I don't know, maybe like 300, like big, big.
tall and big.
No, like just average and round. It was average and round.
Ooh.
But and that was at a time when I was like super fit because it was in my early 20s.
Uh-huh.
I used to really care about that stuff. And so it made me uncomfortable, but he was really cool. And if he'd
Hmm.
been more fit, he would have been hella attractive. So does that count?
It does count because
Because
you weren't attracted to him. I was not attracted
I
to
did
this
not. I
man.
definitely didn't entertain it for a while. So I wouldn't
There
call him
was
ugly, but
none.
I did date someone that I knew I couldn't see long term with.
Damn. Yeah, girl, these niggas be. But you know what?
It's
Like
really funny.
when we as women start to try to look for a mate, like I feel like a lot of times we want to try to get the shit that's falling fruit from the fucking tree. You're like, oh look, pick this up. Like we don't really put too much into like dating for real to look for a mate. You know, it's easy like
Mm.
on the apps to swipe, but that's not
To get
like I don't feel.
chosen. Yeah.
Yeah, and then guess
Yeah,
what?
it's
These people
yeah.
that you hook up with, maybe they're not gonna be um a mate. Maybe they're gonna be a great friend. I think a lot of
Well, yes,
times when we get
yes.
out there, we're thinking, oh, we're gonna nail it. It's not to be.
I
Sometimes it's not
agree.
to be. Sometimes
Yes.
you're just gonna meet a good fucking friend and
Yes.
be
You
happy
know what
with
the
that.
problem is though? Is that they're not happy with that because they're not. It's like they don't value friendship. People don't value friendship anymore. Remember when I asked you if you would be okay with your husband having a friend of the opposite sex and you were like, no.
Fuck no.
I feel like that's the wrong approach.
Yeah, girl.
Do you know what I mean? Because
If
I
you
feel like
could,
we
girl,
need
if I
friends of
could do,
all types.
you do. But see, this is the thing. See, like what I feel like there are some evolved peoples, you know what I mean? They're like people that are really like I know, like you know that they're not disloyal, they're gonna be like stand on business. They don't mix business with pleasure. Those are those
Hmm.
people. Those are the people that are like that's what I'm bringing to the table. I want to be
Same.
that loyal person that like any little distraction like a squirrel and that's not going to distract me. Like I know who I am,
Hmm.
I know what lane I am, I know I'm loyal. I'm not going to try to fuck nobody's husband because first of all I have a
Ultimately,
husband.
yeah.
Okay, I don't want
Yeah.
anybody else's husband. Okay,
Yeah.
period. But you
Well,
gotta be a
okay.
kind of
Yes,
on that
you
kind of
do.
thing because some people
I
think they can get
agree.
as
I
close as
agree.
they can get to you,
I
they
agree.
can screw you.
I do agree with that. I do agree that you have to be evolved. And I feel like part of the reason that the unevolvement isn't happening is because generally speaking, America is such a repressed
Mm-hmm.
nation.
Mm-hmm.
Like such a like fake puritanical nation. Because on the surface, it's like that's what y'all are
Mm-hmm.
saying. But like we were joking about every single time there's a conference, grinder goes down.
Because they're trying to get it
What?
in, girl. They want to
You
live
feel me?
outside of
And
themselves. you know what I'm saying? Like these people, and this is okay. It's okay to have a persona. That's
I
how
think so
you
too.
gotta split yourself in two. If that's what makes you get through the day, split yourself in two. Because we know
I
people
I love that we're talking about this. Yeah.
persona.
Okay, because
Okay.
this is what I think. I agree with that,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like your persona should be tethered to the authentic you. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? And I feel like with them, it's like they're like gays, bad, no
Uh
homosexuality
huh.
is a sin.
Uh
And
huh.
then they're getting bent over in the penthouse. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, that to me, I disagree with. That's not a persona. What is that? That's a complete disacknowledgement of who you are. You're so outside of yourself that you're pretending so hard. And that's my point about suppression. Like, bro, I swear to you, I promise to you, I feel like more people than not don't give a fuck about gay marriage or gay sex or homosexuality.
Yeah.
Never think about it. It doesn't really affect them, so it's not a big deal.
Mm-mm.
But y'all have been saying it's a big deal for so long. You still have to be doubled down in it, although you think that guy over there
It's
in the
hot.
board shorts is hot.
And you
Yep.
want a piece of it.
And you want a piece of it. And
Yeah.
so instead of like, so no, but the problem is too, they get to have their cake and eat it too and won't let us. That's the
Mm-hmm.
problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the bullshit. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the problem I have with it because funnily enough, that you bring up persona, have been putting on this persona. And it's like, okay, so, I'm trying to evolve. I'm trying to step into like new places, new spaces, new ways of being.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, so what's the persona? And my persona is disinherited heiress
Okay. Mm-hmm.
who's the black sheep of her family.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like the vibe I'm like carrying into it. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So it's like, I come from, but I don't
Yes.
have anymore. And I
Yeah.
bucked convention.
You
I
bucked
said,
the
fuck you to the
system.
man.
You said fuck you to
Yeah.
the man and you still got your money. Yeah. I was telling Jasmine
And
that that's how like when you see these people and they glow up, right? We saw it with Cardi
mhm.
B. We saw it with Meg The Stallion. We saw all these girlies
I love
like
Meg.
come
I was
from
listening to her
this
today
is
on
my
the gym. I'm
name.
like, girl. Yeah,
This
yeah.
is who
How
I
and they say
my
it
rap
over and
person.
over, just so
Mm-hmm.
you know.
And then
Yeah.
it comes to be because you saw Cardi
hmm
B when she had them chipped teeth and she was looking
Yes, and she was
still
twirling in the hotel.
twirling in the
She
hotel and
said a hoe
stealing niggas'
never gets
money.
cold.
Yo, and now she's like one of the top. Like she
Yeah, she's
spoke
up
her
there.
persona. That is her
No,
rap
I love
persona.
that's true. I
So
also
yeah,
think it says something about like belief in yourself. You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah.
Because it's like you got to start there first. When I at the voice acting
Hmm.
class that I
Convince
took,
me. Yeah.
that's one of the things that they were saying because like we'd go up there and then we'd say, oh, that didn't sound good, or I didn't like my voice there or whatever, and one of the instructors was like, whoa, 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 like give me time
Mm-hmm.
to react to it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't automatically start underselling
Yeah.
yourself
Yeah.
because then you start looking for
Mm-hmm.
that stuff, right? And I feel like in this suppressed nation that we live in, people have a big problem with confidence too. Like
It's
they
true.
just don't like confident people.
Yeah.
And so to be confident enough to say, no, I believe in myself, I'm going for it full throttle, is pretty cool because for the most part, it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. And so a lot of people aren't pursuing their dreams because of it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we
Yeah. And
actually
if
have
you
become,
Mhm.
oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
and that's like if you waiting for somebody to like your shit, like just like with this
They'll never do
podcast,
it.
even
They'll never
even
do it
people that are
because
close to you, they're not gonna
because
like it.
they want you to be down there
Mm-hmm.
with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because what I have found is sometimes people are used to a version of you,
Mm-hmm.
and when you start to become a different version, it makes them uncomfortable,
Yeah.
especially if they're not growing into something new
Yes.
as well.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, that's true. Like they will, like you're like, yeah, where's the support, y'all? And
Mm-hmm.
they're nowhere to be found. But that's also
Crickets.
sometimes it's almost more beautiful than when you start to have success because you know that it was
Mm-hmm.
yours,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you're doing. Just like Miss Annie.
Yes, Amy.
You know what I was thinking? is that we, and I mean historians prior to us,
Mm-hmm.
have really, really downplayed the contribution of African Americans to American society.
Yeah.
Because I'm willing to bet, because I started thinking about this obviously while researching the stories, it's like, well, what happened to the formulas? What happened to all of the stuff that they created, like the stuff that she patented? Whose hands did it move into? Give you one guess.
Oh, should we say?
Anyway.
Uh,
And the crazy thing about it is it's like sometimes what they'll do is, like we were saying, take it and say it's ours. Colonialism.
Prove it.
Or other times they'll kill it or hide it and get rid of it so that it doesn't compete with what they have.
Yes. Yeah.
And I just have to wonder, and as I'm saying that, I don't really wonder. I'm starting to realize that that had to have been standard practice for a lot because there were so many Black people that were coming up during this time, just like everybody else. Why aren't there legacies and legacies and legacies of success from that time? And yet the white men have it in droves, you know?
Girl, even like when, yes, researching. That's, this is one thing that I do love this podcast because it does give me an opportunity to research and make sure like the strings connect, the red string. And it always does go back to something that you've never heard of before. Say, for instance, I heard about there were 7 Black oilmen that had kind of like mysteriously something happened and there was a fire. They were dead, like one by one by one. There were 7 big ones. And I was like, what the hell?
Hold up, I need some clarity. So you're telling me that just coincidentally, 7 Black oilmen died individually under like suspicious circumstances?
Yes.
They weren't like all together in a warehouse?
No. They were all individually lost their lives. And then the last one because there were 7 of them. So the last one was George Washington Carver Jr. And he actually he already knew the motherfuckers were coming for him. So he barricaded himself, in so nobody could get it, but they end up killing him, burning him to death. So there's a lot of things that are kind of hidden history. Things that, because they'll come in there, they'll burn shit down. And even back in the day, like, people were, like, in the pocket. I'm sure even now it can happen. Like, hey, Bernie, I know you're the fire inspector, but, let me screw your little pump. Can we not say this was a fire because I have a big insurance policy coming to me? And, just so happened, somebody, you don't know about law and you don't know about business. And then you get somebody that you think is cool, like one of the ops. Yeah. They come in and they're like looking over all your fucking paperwork. They're seeing all the loopholes. And then they figure out like, shit, we're going to have to get rid of this motherfucker because there's no way we can.
There's no way.
They won't let us.
That's yes. And what's so strange about
we gonna have to fight and kill
is that it's like, or you could just let them live their life without your involvement.
Girl, how dare a Black man have more than a white man?
Have so much problem doing. It is crazy to me how entitled they still are to like all our Blackness. They still feel so entitled to our Blackness. They still feel entitled to like dismiss it, own it, judge it. Like, it's actually crazy. And that's one of the reasons why this was so of interest to me, because I have been struggling with like how I want to do my hair. I think I've decided that I'm going to become like a straight natural. And that's mostly because my hair is so fine, Keeks. Like, I'm never going to be able to have like a cute fro. Like, I just prefer my hair straight. That's just how it's going to have to be. I've tried. But it's November. And for the first time, I think in my, I don't even know how many years, probably since college, my hair hasn't been in a weave or braids.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. It just feels so damn liberating.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It is.
And it sucks because I think there is still some residual, like, I don't know, white judgment that I experience when I think about, like, because my hair is basically always wrapped. Like, I rarely have it out, but I feel like even sometimes they see the wrap and they feel like, you know what I mean? And it's just so unfair because there are so many things that as
Mm-hmm.
Black people we don't have the privilege of having. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't have the privilege of just having Black women because
Mm-hmm.
men, they get the privilege, but we don't have the privilege of just existing in the world without judgment,
Mm-hmm.
without speculation, without all the bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just makes me so sad because it's like, ultimately, guys, it's just
It
hair.
is just hair. But tell me this. Do you
Yeah.
feel like when you're wearing a scarf or whatever, don't you feel like when you go out into public that makes you feel like it protects you? Like
Yes.
it feels like
Yeah,
you like wearing
Keisha, I
sunglasses
do.
at night, god damn it.
Yes,
Um
Keisha, I do. That's so funny that you say that because this woman was talking about this girl I follow on TikTok, Earth Mama. She's very cool, and she's very natural. And she said that she had to go out, and so she threw a wig on, and so there was just some discourse about it, and it made me think that ever since I've been wearing a scarf, I my anxiety levels when I'm
uh-huh.
out are so low.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's crazy.
Mhm.
Like I'm so much more relaxed when
Mhm.
my head is covered.
And it's intentional. It's like, when I do my scarf or whatever, I tie
Hmm.
my stuff in like a certain way, um,
Hmm.
with the intention of protecting myself from
Hmm.
whatever. And even
I
like
think that's very
the
ancestral.
yes,
Hmm.
and it just comes to me. I'm like, I gotta do
I
this
mean, because
to
I
the left
feel
side of my
beautiful
eye. Like, yeah, you feel just put together.
in a wrap. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I feel
Uh-huh.
like, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just a little wrap, but it just makes me feel very feminine, very,
Yes.
protected.
Protect. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the cool things that this year generally has given me is I've gotten my Blackness back. I live in the Bay Area, and I think we talked about this, but there's that map, right, where it shows like where the majority of Black people live, and there's, I don't know, probably 80% of them are like in the South, and someone
Mm-hmm.
joked that we're right where the boats dropped us off.
Just right where they
Um,
dropped you off. Not
um,
too far
but I
from it.
say that to say, yeah, that we have always lived in the West, and there's not a lot of Black people out here. So you do you're kind of you never get away from whiteness, I guess is what I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
say. And so
Mm-hmm.
I've always, my whole life, been extra conscious of my hair.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, I just decided, like, fuck you and fuck
Fuck.
that. Like, I'm never going back. Like, I will literally do whatever I want with my hair from
Mm-hmm.
this point on, and y'all are
Mm-hmm.
just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I love to see a generation removed having a lot more freedom with their hair because, damn, for years they tried to convince us. And it's like, babe, there are things I can do with my hair that you will literally never be able to do.
Ever.
Not that it's a competition,
No.
but like,
Mm-hmm.
why are we even talking about each other's hair?
Yeah.
Can we evolve? Speaking of evolved people, we just talked about the stupidest shit. It pisses me off, Kiki. I
Mm-hmm.
feel so like, ugh. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I just, sometimes I really feel so removed from like humans.
Sometimes you just gotta remove yourself from them because sometimes they are
God.
lower than the damn serpents.
Yeah, just
You're
the
like,
most basic of
damn,
base
this is where we're
thinking.
at. We can't even. We're past this, y'all. We got legs and thumbs. God damn it! Like,
Right?
can we do something with that though?
Like, we should be living in utopia
We
by now.
should
I don't care
be.
what
We
anybody
should
says.
be. You girl, like as we were talking about before, like if everybody got on one accord and just said, you know what, fuck it, we're not doing this. This is the argument that we have as a people. There's not enough food. There's not enough jobs. There's not enough housing. So
Yeah.
let's do some shit about that.
Okay, I just want to put an asterisk there. You know
Mm-hmm.
what's so funny? Whenever I edit these, I feel like I wonder like if people are like, God, that bitch is such a know-it-all. Because want it to
Girl,
be
let
like,
people
I just,
think whatever you want to fucking think.
but I do have to add an asterisk because it's not that we don't have enough. It's just that the wealthy have hoarded it all up and are refusing to fucking give us like reasonable access to it.
Yeah.
And that should absolutely revolution, like, you know what I mean? That should make us want to revolt
Mm-hmm.
immediately.
Girl, we should
Do you
all.
think,
Mm-hmm.
so what is your thinking? Like, because you always tell you kind of my thoughts on like upcoming vibes. Do you think the people are going to get it together? Do you think we're going to devolve into like human subspecies? What's your take in the next
Absolutely.
like 3 years?
Absolutely. In the next 3 years, things are not going to get better. They're not going to get better. I'm
You
sorry.
don't think they are?
Oh no, girl. We
Do
have a
you think they will
long
get
way to
worse?
go. I'm not thinking that they'll get worse, but I'm saying they're not going to get better. Um, these people, they need certain things to happen. And if everybody decides that, we're gonna just revolt. I mean, that's what would it have to take. But some people
Yeah,
want to
that's
be
what it's
on the
going to
safe
take.
side. They want to play it safe. They want to just assimilate, is that the word? With
Yeah.
society. They just want to and then even the brown
Well,
people, they want the whiteness, they
yes.
want the proximity to whiteness, they want to be, and even the
I
girl,
was just thinking
they
that
want to be so
today.
white, the white people be looking at them like, what the fuck you doing?
Geeks, I was just
What?
thinking that today how, God, this is going to sound awful, but
Bad.
how the Indian people love Elon. Indians love him so much.
Girl, I can
I
tell
don't
because
know
where I work is girl, the Tesla capital might as well be.
hmm
Because girl, every damn car you see is a Tesla. And who's
That's
driving
how,
it? The brown people, the brown Indians up in there. Zooming
Well,
in and zooming
and
out.
the other Asians too.
They do
All
love
the
it
Asians,
too.
the Asians love
But
Elon.
you know what? I feel like if you, because people that come from China, girl, they got it all going on with their electric cars that they've been having for years. Now,
hmm
these ones are like the basic of the basic. So I'm sure
They
they
are,
probably
yeah.
get tea like, dang, they got it going on like this. Let me try to get as close as I can to the shit that we would normally have if we were living in
I
China. Because,
I
girl, them
agree. Or if
cars
we
be
had like
driving themselves
better
for
relations.
sure. They have better
Because I feel
everything.
like I don't even think he can sell Teslas
He
in China,
probably
can he?
can't. He probably
I don't think he
can't.
can. So yeah, yeah. But yes, we all need to, and I feel like the problem is, there was this whole discourse I was involved in, and it was kind of about this woman wrote this book, and she was an Asian woman, and she was pointing out the fact that a lot of immigrants come over and are able to have like successful lives in America, and was kind of talking about why that is, and there was a bunch of different reasons that she pointed
Mm-hmm.
out. And and the woman who brought it to my attention was a black woman, and one of the questions I had about that was I'd be curious to see about the statistics kind of reversed, right? Like if black Americans immigrated to, let's just say, the Netherlands, if
Mm-hmm.
they'd have the same type of success rates as the immigrants coming into America. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I'm curious about that is because I feel like a lot of the white people in this country, immigrants to this country, completely overlook the scar of slavery. I
Mm-hmm.
really feel like they forget. Like I heard some discourse flare up on TikTok, and it was like they thought I don't know who, the dumb ones, the subhuman species
Yes. Then.
thought that we had immigrated to America.
Oh Lord.
Girl. And that's why. That's why. Okay, have you ever seen this movie? It's called Idiocy or
Idiocracy.
Idiot.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. I've
Yes.
watched it
We
several
are
times.
that. Okay, so see, that's what I think. That's what I'm hopeful of. I'm hopeful that it gets bad.
Yeah, there's a million movies out there, and Back to the Future is also one of those movies that shows you kind of like what the fuck, like this is where we're headed.
Mm,
if we don't get it
it's true.
together. Like
That's,
everything, even
yeah.
girl, that movie Wally, God, that classic.
Oh, it's a cute
It
movie.
is a cute movie,
Um,
but then when you see all them people like up there in them chairs moving around and gaining weight and ordering shit, like this was
they're
before
like,
DoorDash and all that. They were crazy for that. Disney be no.
well, but the thing about it is, we've always known. I mean, it's not that hard even to like subvert the system,
Mm-mm.
right? Like, you just don't fucking eat at McDonald's. Like, I don't know why. I think, because, they're like, everyone has to. I think what it is they feel like it feels to them like giving up something or losing something versus gaining something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the misunderstanding there. It's like, babes, we're fighting for true freedom
We are
here.
fighting for true freedom
Like,
and free salads,
hello.
God damn it. How hard would it be to start a business? And I'm not talking about the soup plantation. God knows who came up with this name. They didn't even have that name of the soup plantation in the South. They had like some other fucking name like Sweet
Hmm.
Tomatoes.
Yeah,
But
sweet
why on the
tomatoes.
West
Yeah.
Coast it's the plantation of soups? And why? Well, how hard is it to open up a salad bar where you can come get by the pound and not $11 a pound? Because I think Jasmine mentioned that there's Jimbo's and you can get a salad for $11 a pound. And I'm like, why is it so expensive to go and make a good old fashioned salad?
I don't know. It's
Why
really
is it
weird.
hard? Why is Whole Foods the only place, only supermarket around that
You know
has?
why?
This is crazy.
See, it's a fucking monopoly. I went to Sizzler. I don't even know why. I was out in the boonies here and I went to
You were like,
Sizzler.
huh? Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
hadn't, because
about
I
that's
love a
about. I
good
do
all you
too.
can
All
eat
you can eat salad
situation,
bar.
but it
Mm-hmm.
was so
Yeah.
expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I could not believe. I think I paid like $45 or something. I was like,
All
what the
by
fuck?
yourself. Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to like grab a little munch. Like, I don't know. It was so jarring.
Turned out to be a three
But
course
it's
meal.
because the thing about it, which sucks, and I mean, it's like, how long? I was just about to say, it's like, how long are we going to discuss it before things change? And it's going to be, we got it, I think. God, I've got a lot going on in my head. You know how that
Mm-hmm.
goes. My fucking
Mm-hmm.
brain starts running away with me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the change is possible, and I think it will happen at midterms because I think what's going to happen is we're going to see some dark horse politicians that they ain't seen coming on the Democratic side, and that's who's going to be running shit. Like the mayor of New York. Please tell me you have seen some of the dances. This one guy said, I'm learning the Dob key so that at his inauguration
So
he's
I can
ready.
get go up in there and do
Yeah.
it. Yeah, my coworker was. We were on that, and he was talking about like, you know who the and I was like, eh. I heard Cuomo and this other guy, and then he's like, there's a
Yeah.
third person. Did you know about this third person? But
Yeah.
my friend
Yeah.
is very into politics, and he was like, Keisha, I'm not a resident of this country, but I will be
Yeah.
willing to, if you run, I can, back you up. I was like, you know what,
Heck
that would be
yeah.
cool. That would be cool.
Shit.
But
Maybe Keeks, maybe that's our next iteration is we move into politics because I know I got enough common sense to whip some shit into shape. Y'all cannot
yes,
keep doing this.
no, they
Like,
can't.
we don't want it. Like, how are you just at this point blatantly ignoring what we're
Girl,
fucking asking of
what would
you?
make Texas think that they were gonna fucking they didn't even go to the people to let them vote. They just started doing
Oh,
what the fuck they wanted to do. But at least California were like, yeah, we'll put it on the ballot. And you can vote for it. If you want it, if you don't. Here are the
well,
reasons
that's the
why, and
difference.
here's
And I think the theme of this podcast is freedom because I don't understand how people could be like when they talk about freedom. Do you guys realize how far from free we are? And they're so deep in their hate that they can't put their head up and say, "Oh yeah, maybe I should be given a choice." Like they
Mhm.
ain't even giving y'all choices anymore.
They
They
can.
are making the decisions for you at this
Mhm,
point.
mhm.
But the thing, I woke up on the day. Yeah, this week was a weird week.
It was.
It's the same day that whole Pinhaven shit, like my planner stuff happened. But I woke up that day too, and it's funny because I was like, because I just know, like we're at this point, it seems stupid, but these are high stakes, you
Mhm.
know. And I was like, if it didn't pass, we are fucked. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It means that there's no hope.
Mm.
There's like zero hope. All ye who enter here abandon all hope.
Girl,
Um,
I think that when Dick died, it just opened up the cavalcade. I don't know. Like, they were like, we'll take him, and at least y'all can get some of your freedoms back. Because they're gonna flip the script. He was the one
maybe.
stronghold in the
Because
whole monkey wrench.
when when
Motherfucker.
when I woke up on the day, I could feel the air. I tested it, and I'm like, oh, we're good.
I can
We're
feel it
good.
coming in
Straight
the
up.
air
Straight up.
tonight.
I was like, oh, and then that news, and I also was like, I thought too there was a cherry in the form of 45. I literally was like, did that motherfucker die? And it wasn't him, but it was
Was it,
it was in the
girl?
ether, so I
Oh,
count it.
it
I'll
was an
take
old
it.
dick,
Shit.
though. It was an old dick. Let's talk
Anyhow.
about. I don't know if you
Yes.
know about this. The
Ooh.
hug that sent a doubt thousand
Ooh.
ships, and they were saying, "Usha, girl, you are in danger,
No.
baby. You was in danger."
Usha. Oh, who was hugging her? Her hubby?
Well, the KK, the Nikki with the K, was
Oh.
hugging.
Wait, Nikki with the
Is
K.
that her name?
Tell me all the deeds.
Girl?
Wait, who's the one that is she their press secretary?
Girl, no,
Carolyn?
the girl from Kirk, like his wife. What's her name? Is her name Nikki?
Oh,
Erica with
Erica.
the
I
K.
think it's
There you go,
Erica.
Erica.
Yeah.
So Erica with a K
They like
was
this K.
hugging JD, Smoky Eyed Bandit. And she did
Oh,
the whole, like, up the back of the scalp. You know how the lovers do.
I'm scandalized. I wouldn't put it past them because she definitely fits the bill. You feel
Girl,
me?
she's been giving
And
it
Usha's over
up.
there looking shriveled and
Shriveled and
gray.
gray and
I can't
just, she
believe that's what
doesn't.
happens when y'all throw y'all's tail behind some bullshit. It's going to age you terribly.
Like
I can
milk,
see
girl.
that happening because they really are about that.
Hmm.
Wait, did you hear any of the tea about? Did we talk about Candace Owens and him? Have we?
We didn't talk about it, but I think I
Know where I'm
did my
going with
research on it.
this?
Uh-huh, go ahead,
Yes,
girl.
like she wasn't even invited to his memorial. But they were
Hmm.
like, and she apparently on his Instagram had this whole like tribute and farewell with all these like photos of him. Like she's been very vocal about trying to find like, get justice for him. Like there's a lot there. And so people were speculating about that too. But I feel like it is wild to see in real time a token getting spent because the moment he ceased to exist, so did she. How
Bye bye,
crazy is that?
Candace. Yeah,
How crazy
girl.
is that?
And that's like when she was up there, like, girl, I think at first, I don't know if it was the shock of it all at first. It's just kind of like, just kind of holding it together. She was like, oh my God, like, this is bad. Like, then she started spinning out of control, girl. And then she was crying. And then she was remembering the times when he would call her and say, hey, do these sunglasses look cool to you? Oh,
Oh,
you look fine. Oh, you remember this Jay-Z song? I know all the words. Shut the fuck up. Girl, ain't
I
nobody
mean,
trying to
yeah,
listen to
I
this
don't.
shit.
That's why, like,
Girl.
her whole rebrand has been so nauseating to me because I don't understand how. I mean, because she's basically trying to make white supremacy palpable, and it's like, why are you working so hard for that? I
Girl.
don't understand that. I will never understand why it matters so to some black people so badly that white people be so successful. Like I wonder what that psychology is. Do you know
Girl,
what I
I
mean?
don't know. But girl, there's a lot of what words out there that's just right along with it.
Yes.
Like, hey,
Yes.
like, oh girl, the one guy, he was up here talking about, I don't know who he is. He's some YouTuber or whatever. No, not his YouTuber. He's the one, a TikToker. And he was up there talking about how, like, oh, we should not be, as black people, we should be thanking God that we were put in such a position. Uh, I'm like,
To do
oh,
what?
to fucking actually, first of all, to be fucking slaves, and then we should be
No, that's what
we.
he was
Oh, well, that's
saying.
what I got from it. Because, like, what are we thanking the white people for? Like, exactly what are we
Oh,
thanking them for?
that you know what? And the thing about it, I'm gonna go on record,
Go
and we've
on
said
record,
this, but
girl.
every time someone says, like, every time they start talking about God or religion, I'm gonna need to confirm. And this guy was clearly talking about white nationalism, Christianity. Because it's like, okay, well, I don't, my God doesn't believe that, so I'm out. Scroll, because girl, bye.
People be trying to
And
put
it's weird
the
how
cloak of
how
whiteness and the cloak of Christianity under the same cloak.
yes,
It's like the
it's
invisible
also,
cloak, like you're not gonna see the demon that they really are under it
but
all.
I see it. Some people just need to be led in blind. That I mean, that really is just the gist of it. Like some people really have to be
Hmm. Yeah.
told and led and fed, you
Hmm.
know, and they rely on those people. Unfortunately, that number is increasing. Like people are kind
Yes,
of checking
girl.
out, you know.
Yeah, and it's like they really want to, the proximity to the whiteness. They really want to be like, hey, we're not all, and I'm like, shut
Yeah, I
up.
know. It's like why are you so like hyped to prove that? Because what you don't win anything.
Nothing. You're
In
getting,
fact, it could be detrimental to you, honey.
and everyone
You
like,
know what I'm saying? Like literally, you could die. They don't
they
care.
don't
They
care.
don't
They
care.
don't
I
care.
swear to God, they will never care that
They
much
don't care,
ever.
girl.
I just really believe that. Like it's only going to go so far ever. And that's why we just need to do our own thing. I don't know. I believe that some good's about to happen, but I do believe that there's some bad that's about to
Oh
happen
yeah,
too.
that's
I
my
think that we're
prediction. Like, I feel like it's gonna
still.
be like after this president goes off to pasture or whatever, then only then will we be able to make it. But after the four
Oh,
years that
see,
they've
because
seen, these 4 years are gonna be rough,
oh,
and it was
Cheeks,
already
it actually
predicted.
is kind of crazy.
It's been rough.
It is kind of
It's not gonna
crazy
get
because
better.
we literally don't know where we're going to end up. I mean,
Mhm.
the I have to tell you, I feel like why some of the votes, like why there was like that little blue, tiny little blue wave at the recent elections, is because people woke up after seeing the carcass of the East Wing. I think about that image in my head, and I'm like, yeah, yeah, that's enough to get your ass fucking. That's enough to light a fire.
Girl, in the
Anywho.
history of this fucking house, I want to dive back. I doubt that people were all busy with it. Like, they're just saying, like, this is the White House. Come as you fucking are. At least it's not the governor's mansion. It's the fucking White House. Why would you change? I mean, I would, but that's just me. But this is historical.
Wait,
I
you would
wouldn't.
knock
I
down
wouldn't
some
go. No,
buildings?
I wouldn't go in there and do. Because, girl, once you start knocking shit down, we all have seen this
You
story,
gotta,
Stephanie. You
yes, you
knock down
gotta
a
raise the whole
building.
damn thing.
There are some spirits that have been resting
Oh,
peacefully. When you
girl,
start disturbing that earth that house is
girl,
on,
let's let our ancestors do what they're gonna do because that's one of the things he didn't anticipate because you know how people were joking on well social about how like as a black person buy White House like they don't give a fuck. Um,
should have been the
it's
Black
like
House anyway.
yeah, there's spirits attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you want to get wild. He's been looking not well too.
Girl, they say
Slumped
whenever
over
you
and
because you never know. Like, spiritual
girl,
warfare is
Annie,
that
the
warfare that
veil.
you're
What?
not even
That's what I was
equipped.
about to say. The veil is so thin this around this time. Y'all don't see. That's why I honestly feel like energy's getting cleansed. I don't think that they prevail. I actually think there's going to be some really crazy shit, but I feel like by the middle to end of 2027, like the world as we know it is just staunchly going to be different. Like I really feel like there's going to be a different voices speaking up and moving things in different
Well,
directions.
I
I fully
hope
feel that
so.
way.
I hope so.
hmm I feel like, I mean, because I also feel like personally, even my timeline, it feels so accelerated. Like
hmm
it's like, what the hell are you? What's going on, Stephanie? And all of a sudden, like there's things going on,
Yeah.
and the universe is just strengthening all. Like every single time, I'm like a little bit of doubt. I get the craziest confirmation, and I will give you a perfect example. There is on this coming Sunday an author talk, and it's basically how you get started and just kind of perspective from an author, and it's literally a Black woman,
Mm-hmm.
and it's at this brewery that's 5 minutes from my house. So there's been all of these, like, I was like, I finally decided because I was watching Waiting to Exhale, and I finally got clarity on the path that I want to take. So I know what's happening energetically there. That's also happening, but that's shrinking, which is why it's so ugly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm excited for them to. I mean, they're so. Never mind. I was gonna not wish them well, but we're just gonna hang up
Girl,
on
if we
that
don't
note.
wish them well, shit, we ain't gonna be well. We gotta just give and take in this bitch.
Yeah, it is give and take, and they've been taking too long.
They've
So
been
fuck
taking,
that.
so it's
I'm
time
due
for us to
now.
get. Mm-hmm.